When printing worksheets, a good idea would be to first look at the page setup setting. Go to File menu and choose Print. You'll get the print preview. Also on the left-hand side of the screen, there are a number of settings as well as a choice called Page Setup. So here we can control various aspects of what we want to print. So there's a Page tab, a Margins tab, a Header and Footer tab, and a Sheet tab. The ribbon system also has many of these features, but you can also get to these via this Page Setup setting. We'll cancel this for now and show you another way of getting to it. We'll press Escape or the left arrow and into the worksheet. If you click the Page Layout tab in the ribbon, first you don't see Page Setup, but you do see an arrow on the lower right hand corner called Page Setup. This is a dialog box launcher that activates the page. Here there's also a print preview. So looking at a print preview of this particular worksheet, there are a few problems. There's 34 pages and maybe some unwanted data, so we probably want to make some changes. Now we can either go back to the worksheet environment and access Page Setup, or enter it here and start to make some changes. Landscape could be an option, so click it and click OK and look at the preview. It's put in more columns but will use fewer rows, so it'll take 24 pages. That could be an option to choose. Now return to Page Setup and maybe we could shrink it, zoom to another %, but then again maybe not the best idea. Or there's another option to try and fit it to 20 pages. So we can click OK to see if this looks okay. It actually gives a lot of white space on the side. So undo by pressing Ctrl Z, back to Page Setup, and we may just go back to this button, start at 100% and reconsider that. Sometimes when you're working with it, you may be unsure about what things are going to look like. You might make some changes. You could change the size of the margins to give you more white space on top or bottom and sides, or maybe less even. Sometimes you may want some of the information horizontally or vertically. You could also go to the Header Footer tab to make some changes if you wish to. There are some built-in options for what appears in the header. There are some file names and page numbers and quite a few options. You can also create your custom header by putting in your own information. These displays have been in Excel for a long time, and people who've been using Excel for a long time find it comforting to see them there. People who have used older versions of Excel may be familiar with the dialog boxes. Now you can get to most of these features via page layout, but a lot of these choices are all together in the same dialog box. At times you may want to print the row and the column headings, and sometimes you may or may not want to see the grid lines. If we remove them, let's see how it looks. Page Setup has many choices within it. You can access it through File tab and then Print, and we see the choices here, or if you're working within the worksheet itself, just click the dialog box launcher that's on the Page Layout tab and activate Page Setup. Now, one odd thing is if we go to Print Preview right now, we see page 1, but on page 2 we don't see the heading on page 2, page 3 or page 4. So let's go to Page Setup, and on the Sheet tab there is an option, Rows to Repeat at top. If you click here, it doesn't activate. You cannot choose anything here. If you choose Cancel when you return to the worksheet environment and activate Page Setup from here, you can get to that feature by way of the Sheet tab and Rows to Repeat at the top. When we look at the print preview, you can see it's on every page. If you were using that feature and needed to see the header on every page, you can get to it by choosing Print Titles here. So a lot of the commands in Page Setup here are also in the Page Layout tab. So many of the print settings will probably be together and you'll see them in the dialog box. A good approach can be to activate Page Setup in one of the two methods that you saw here.